Thank you all for joining us this afternoon.
Eric.
Thank you all for being here today. This is the time that we normally announce our 2020 FLW Tour schedule. But this year we'll be doing that at the FLW Cup in Hot Springs, Arkansas. And we want to invite you all to come out and join us for that event. The dates are August 9 through 11, and we'd love to see you all out there. We thought it was very fitting to use this time with you today to celebrate Irwin Jacobs and his contributions not only to the sport of fishing, but to the entire industry. And that means so much to all of us. Irwin was a very passionate man. He was passionate about the sport, and he was passionate about the fishing and boating industry. He saw a huge untapped potential, and he was willing to invest his time and his resources to unlock that potential. And we are all better off as a result.
I've come to New York for a lot of different things in my life and been part of a lot of incredible businesses. But nothing quite like this experience have I had happen to me in my life, where I have felt for the last 12, 13 years so incredibly fulfilled with being part of not only just recreating a sport, but history making in the world of something that is so powerful, and yet there's so many people in the world that really don't know much about it.
From plan to action, what does it take to reshape an industry? The very idea of bass fishing tournaments was a step in the right direction. But most people agree that no larger impact happened than when Irwin Jacobs turned his energy and intellect towards a sport that was barely visible to the average sports fan.
Irwin made such an impact on the sport of bass fishing. I was so impressed when when he come out with the FLW Tour.
He never took his eye off the ball. He always knew how to sell something and wasn't scared to take any chances. And, it made bass fishing better.
He really had a love for the tournament fishermen, the guys and girls that was out here trying to make a living doing this. And I think that's really what fueled his passion to try to make this game greater than it was.
I'm so appreciative of what Irwin's done in this sport because he's made it a true sport. He just had a vision for a much bigger stage than what we were currently at, and we're feeling the fruits of it now.
A true entrepreneur who started numerous businesses and acquired Ranger boats in the early 90s. Irwin Jacobs took one of the boldest steps of his career and bought the well-respected tournament organization Operation Bass, headquartered near the banks of legendary Kentucky Lake. Together, a new company was born. The fishing world has never been the same. Walmart was the first big consumer brand to sign on, but more followed. And with more retail brands came more exposure, as FLW proved to be a model of how to grow the sport of bass fishing.
Thanks to him bringing the non-endemics in, thanks to that, it enabled me to fish for a living.
So FLW was just a small bass fishing organization at that time, and Irwin took it to greater heights.
And when he came in with his vision of the fishing industry, it exploded to a whole nother level.
Broadcast news, magazine profiles, and celebrities took notice and joined the movement. And Irwin Jacobs could have left it at that, but he had one more goal: to create the biggest payday in bass fishing history, to reward the hardworking anglers of this sport with prize money beyond anything anyone had offered before. Enough money to truly change their lives.
Bass Fishing's first instant millionaire, Photos Pro Scott Suggs.
It's quite remarkable that I can stand up here 12 years after we started this with someone like yourself and hand them a check for $1 million. Scott, congratulations to you.
The passion that Irwin brought to everything he did was fully realized when FLW became a worldwide sports league. As China, Korea, South Africa, and numerous other countries began holding bass fishing tournaments and sending their anglers to compete with the best that America had to offer, a true world championship was at stake.
Irwin had so many great ideas, and years ago he thought, this needs to be worldwide, fishing league worldwide. And he wanted to take the FLW Tour to other countries, and he's done that. And we're successful now. I mean, I've traveled to South Korea this past season, and that's because of Irwin Jacobs. So now, many, many other countries around the globe are enjoying the sport of bass fishing because of Irwin Jacobs and what he had a vision for. When you look at that, and we look 10 years from now, it's just going to be unbelievable.
Not only did his vision raise the bar for us professional fishermen, his vision for the high school and college anglers raised the bar through all generations of fishermen.
Now more anglers are getting involved every day in a pastime as old as mankind and finding joy at being connected through a competitive bond. From plan to action, the necessary ingredient for change is vision. And Irwin Jacobs was a true visionary who pushed this sport to become what it is today.
And yes, I've probably lived more than one life in a lifetime, but it's been one hell of a ride, I can tell you.
Now, the last thing Irwin would want would for this to be a somber moment. He was hard charging and forward thinking, and that's what we're going to continue to do. And we're looking forward to the FLW Cup in Hot Springs. And we're honored to have with us today a gentleman who really epitomizes Irwin's vision for opportunities internationally. Eric Luzak is our FLW Canada Cup champion, our Costa FLW Series International Division champion, and come August, he will be fishing for $300,000 in the Forrest Wood Cup. Eric, if you would.
Thank you. Well, hi. I'm Eric Luzak. I'm from Canada. I just found out I was doing this about an hour ago. I had no idea. So this is pretty cool and very surreal. But I guess, yeah, a little bit about my story. I did grow up fishing. I love fishing, since I was 2 years old. And I didn't come, my dad didn't fish. So we had a dock. I was lucky enough to have a place in the water. And I'd watch these bass guys fish and catch fish. And eventually I was like, Dad, I want to do that. I was like, all right. Long story short, when I was 12, I started teaching my dad how to throw a bait caster. And I forced my dad to go into the first tournament with me. So this whole time, I was watching you guys, who I'm talking to right now, fish. And watching this from afar, thinking there's no way this kid from Canada could get to that level. I really didn't think that was ever an opportunity for me. But I guess I just kept slugging away in Canada, fishing our small tournament trails, and then all of a sudden the FLW International Division was released and announced, and I see this amazing opportunity to fast track to the Cup and then the Tour. So again, I guess I put in some more work and won the FLW Canada Cup, we call it, and that got me down to the Costas, and I was able to win that division and an automatic berth in the Forrest Wood Cup, which is incredible. So it's one of those moments where it hasn't really sunk in even yet. It's been 6 months or so. And then one of the even bigger moments was I actually didn't realize at the time that also gave me a chance to fish the Tour with everyone here. And I emailed someone, and Bill Taylor emailed me back right away saying, oh yes, you've qualified for the Tour as well. And that was a moment where I went numb. I didn't know what to think, but that's when I really realized like, wow, this is really a dream come true, which never would have happened if it wasn't for, Irwin and everyone here at FLW who, by the way, has been phenomenal. Everyone here has been so nice to me. Everyone in the media team, you guys are amazing. I haven't met many of the anglers yet. I'm looking forward to it. I'll see a lot of you at the Cup this year. It's going to be incredible. I can't wait. And on the 2020 tour, it'll be my first year on the tour. I've never fished any of the lakes, although I don't know where the lakes are, but I'm going to assume I haven't fished them, so that'll be interesting. But yeah, and then I'm just going to keep slugging away. I don't know what else to say other than thanks to everyone. I mean, this opportunity is, like, I got these amazing companies on my jersey now. None of that had happened before this moment, so thanks so much. Dave, everyone here, you've been phenomenal. Thanks for bringing me up here and being a part of this incredible organization and deal. So thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
And of
Thank
course,
you. Good job, Eric. Thanks. Thank you.
No talk about the growth of bass fishing would be complete without bringing up our 4-time Angler of the Year, FLW Tour's all-time leading money winner with nearly $4 million in earnings, who really epitomizes Irwin's vision for payouts, right? And a Forrest Wood Cup champion, David Dudley.
So I wish you guys could see my arms right now. They're really in goosebumps thinking about what he said in the fishing industry. And as I was watching this video, I was just thinking, about, you know, there's people who make monumental things. You may make a difference in a community. You may make a difference in a school, or you may make an impact in maybe your state. But Irwin made, and there's not many people in the world that you can truly say, this guy, he changed not just the states that we live in, but he made a change in the world. Think about that. He brought fishing, bass fishing over the seas, and it's an international. I know we keep saying, but to have a man, and there's only a few people in my life that I've always said in my life, I said, I want to replicate what he is. I look up to him, and one was in my life Jerry Falwell, and the other one has been Irwin Jacobs. Those two guys in my life have casted vision after vision after vision caster, and to see a man who years, like, before we even could conceive what, like, we would hear Irwin say something, and it's like a little kid, and you would, you know, as a little kid, you're like, you know, I want to be a millionaire fishing bass tournaments. And you look at that little kid and you're like, yeah, buddy, you know, good luck. But yet Irwin would come in with his vision and go, you know, we're going to take this thing worldwide. And, you know, there's always that little reserve in you're like, you know, that's good. But no, there's people in this world who know how to cast vision, know how to get teams in behind them, bring other people in to where they're partnering up. And without Irwin, I think most people standing here right now, we wouldn't have the drive, we wouldn't have the desire to become a professional. Irwin shook up the industry. I mean, I think we all can, and when I say shook up, bass fishing had got so stagnant. Think about it. Years ago, you know, in another organization, if you won the Bassmasters Classic, and this wasn't that long ago, you were winning $50,000. And here's a man who comes in, and within a few years of taking it over, casting vision, we're fishing for $250,000 at that time. And, you know, the Classic was at $50,000. Come on, that is impressive. And to see a man just cast vision after vision and grow it to $1 million. When we say stirred up the pot, he truly stirred up the pot and gave us a chance to where we didn't have to continue to put roofs on and lay floors and milk cows and whatever. We could go through and proudly say, I'm a professional bass fisherman. And in the back of my mind, Irwin Jacobs, I'd be fist pumping you all the way through it, because he gave us an opportunity where we could proudly say, you know, there's times where you're like, I'm a professional bass fisherman. Back in the day, you know, you might win 20, 30,000 in a season, but that's, you know, that's you could make it in that. But my point is, without Irwin changing the way we look at it and taking it internationally, there's not many people in the world. So I hope each and every one of you here will understand the impact that Irwin had on us us meaning everyone here, taking us to another level in fishing. And to think about it, you know, giving me, you know, I've been at this game for a while now, and I've won my 4th Angler of the Year. And thinking about the 4th Angler of the Year, which of course qualified me for the Cup, you know, we're at $300,000, man. That is a ton of money to be fishing for. And I know that when I'm at the Cup this year, my fight, my drive, I know my family's always first, but Irwin is, in my mind, part of my family, and I'm fighting to win this, and I'm going to dedicate it, if I win it, or whoever wins it. They need to dedicate this to Irwin, because we wouldn't be at the level and stage that we're at without his support. So, Irwin, we love you, brother.
All right, I'd like to invite everyone, please stay here. We have plenty of refreshments. Enjoy yourselves. We're big on family at FLW, and you're all part of the FLW family. You're all part of the fishing industry family, so thank you all for coming.